Good morning. Good morning. Um, I was actually going to write this as an article, but I thought to myself, why not make a video essay instead of making an article? So originally, this was going to be an article I was going to write, but I thought it would be better to make it more of like a video essay um, where people can still create dialogue. So, first thing I want to talk about is I have a 4-year-old daughter. Um, she is outgoing, happy. She lives with both parents, my wife and I. Um, just a lot of fun. Um, in the home, we have countless positive examples of what it is to be African American or Black. Um, our we have diversity in our friends, but the majority of our friends are African American, but those who are not, we have love. Um, and you know, my daughter, she has an aunt that's a judge. I mean, she has countless people that are very successful in the professional world. Her mother, my wife is extremely professional in the professional world, so extremely successful. So my daughter has a lot of great examples in the home, in books, and make sure we try to monitor what she watches, what she takes in. So we're very conscious of the media effects that the effects media has on kids, particularly kids of color, on who they are and their identity. We try to make sure we have cultural events and trips to influence my daughter's impression of who she is as a woman. All right. So, with that being said, my 4-year-old was at her school slash preschool, and she was at recess, and she was told, "I don't want to play with you because you're Black." And so, as a parent, you hope to not create a bubble for your child because children have to experience things. Um, there's a comedian I enjoy. His name is Teddy Ray, a young comedian out of Los Angeles. And he talks about how when we're in school, sometimes we go through tough times, bullying, that's called character carving. So I know that there are going to be things that my daughter has to experience because to live this life, to live in our world, wherever you are, whatever, ethnicity you are, you're going to go through stuff. Kids can be cruel. But I didn't think that at this school we had carefully picked out that looked like it had diversity, that my daughter would experience that as a 4-year-old. And so this begins the conversation I want to have, a video essay, but I hope to have conversation around this is how do we address these issues as parents of color, as sometimes it's not about race, but for me, being a Black man, to have a 4-year-old daughter that you know she loves life. We have her in soccer and and so the sad reality is that you cannot protect your child from racism. um, you can't protect your child from ignorance. You can't protect your child from people being mean. You can't protect you very few things you can really protect your child from experiencing in this life because there's so much access in our everyday life. And so in this video essay, I just wanted to see if we can create a conversation to see if any other people have a shared experience with that. Maybe you're not Black, maybe you have another situation where your child experienced something at school, and I just want to talk about what have been some of the follow up actions you've taken as a parent to work with your child because um, I love my Black skin. My wife loves her Black skin. Our family, we I'm blessed to say that I have, um, in both sides of our family, we have very supportive friends and family. Um, you know, so I don't, sometimes people will make suggestions to you, and sometimes the suggestions are almost a little, short-sighted, if you will. So, I've kind of had a few conversations this with family and friends, and some of their suggestions are to me a little elementary, because me and my wife, we really concentrate on making sure our daughter has positive images. So, I mean, yes, we have the books. We take her to cultural events. We have a huge library of books that feature African American heroines, not just black um, centerpieces, but like the it's actually a black female. It's actually a black female with melanated skin. It's we work hard to make sure she sees images of herself successful. But yet still, the situation really hurt her, and I had to explain to her, that this person obviously didn't know any better, or maybe they did, but I told her this person didn't know any better, and I told her sometimes people will make hurtful remarks, and so oftentimes things they've heard other people say, which also leads you to say, okay, where did this kid who goes to my daughter's school, who we've carefully picked out, hear this? And that's just scary, to know that in 2020, um, you we still have to have these things. For myself, I've been through a lot of really horrid racial experiences. Being run off the road, having feces thrown at the car when my mom was driving to church, and we've had some really bad experiences. But I chalk that up to just me living in a different time. But as a 43-year-old man, you would hope things have changed some. But it's disheartening. But not just for my daughter. I just want to create a conversation of what are, as a parent, period, whether your child is black or white or whatever, um, or whatever ethnicity, how do you address that? Because it's still there. And so what are our remedies, and more importantly, are our possibility of solutions? And that's where I really want to kind of nail the hammer the nail in the wall right here, is to say, what are solutions that we can look into as parents? I'm in the field of education. What can we do to create change so that we can improve things for kids moving forward? Because again, um, in 20 years, when my child is grown, I still don't want kids to be. Seems like that's something that we can have conversations to work on. Or, but as far as my daughter, she's good. I mean, she has, my wife is phenomenal. I'm okay. And I try to, so we work hard to make sure she's encouraged. She knows who she is. She understands her history. We're a faith-based family. So we understand our faith as well. So my daughter has parents and a family that love her and instills in her who she is. So her environment at school doesn't say, oh, this is who you are. So we have that covered. But it's still perplexing to know that, you know, we send our kids out from our homes, and it's unfortunate that you see students, they go to school and there's trauma. Some students have trauma at home, but some students don't really have trauma at home. They get trauma at school. And these events, whether we like it or not, are going to be things that shape our kids. And, my daughter hasn't even started kindergarten yet, but can you imagine how students feel who are in the fifth grade, sixth grade, high school, and they've been called fat or whatever, racial slurs there for years? That's got to be traumatic. So anyway, I just want to have a video essay was on my mind. Wanted to see what you guys think, and that's it. It's the 10-minute mark. People don't listen to videos past 10 minutes. You guys have a great day.